Hi students and welcome back. In this tutorial we are going to do question 9, which is the integration question of a final question paper. Alright, an integration question is basically, can you combine all your programs, your Microsoft programs in one question, or can you use multiple programs in one question? Now if you look at our first question here, 9.1, using any of the Microsoft Office programs, and the programs that we do is in computer practice is Word, Excel, and OneNote. In N5 we do Word, Excel, and OneNote. So let's read. Using any of the Microsoft Office programs, create and study the table below and answer the questions that follow. Show your workings when necessary. So we basically have to create this little table, and we need to decide in what program are we going to use it in. So we have to go and create. Create means you have to type it into a program. Now, if this, as you can see, there's a column A, B, and C, and then we have rows 1 to 11. In Microsoft Excel, we have columns and we have rows. So this already tells you that you need to go and create this in Microsoft Excel. All right. And here I have typed it out in Microsoft Excel, and I've tried to make it look similar to what is presented in front of me. So 9.1.1. What percentage of the total population lives in KwaZulu-Natal? Over here, I have the province KwaZulu-Natal. There's a population size and there's an area in square kilometers. But we're only going to focus on the population size now. Altogether, the other provinces are also there, but they specifically want to know what is the percentage of people that is living in KwaZulu-Natal. There's a grand total where all the provinces have been totaled together. That gives you the total population of South Africa, for example, in this particular table. So we want to know, we don't want to know what is the total population. We only want to know what is the population that's living in KwaZulu-Natal. To determine that answer, we have to divide. To get a percentage, you have to divide. So you take the amount of KwaZulu-Natal and you divide it with the big population size, all right, or the total population. So the KwaZulu-Natal population divided by the total population. So to do that, I'm putting my cursor in the correct cell that I've created here so that I can show my answers. And I'm going to start with the equal sign. You always start with equals if you start with a formula in Excel. So it's equals, you click on the KwaZulu-Natal population size, you divide by the total population by clicking on it, and then you press enter on your keyboard. You are going to get an amount, and what you now have to do is you just have to go and format it into a percentage. I'm going to go right to under my home tab, under the number group, I can either select percentage. I could have done it here as well, would have given me the same answer. And as you can see, I have decimals. Now, unless specified, percentages don't really get decimals. So you can actually take the decimals away by using your increase decimal or your decrease decimal options. Now, increase means you want to add decimals. Decrease means you want to take them away. So you just click, there's 2 decimals, so you have to go and click decrease twice. 1, 2 to take it away, and then we only have 19% left. So 19% of the total population lives in KwaZulu-Natal. Alright, next question, 9.2. What percentage of the total population lives in the 3 Cape provinces? The 3 Cape provinces. Now, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, Western Cape. So we want to know how many, or what is the percentage of the total population that lives in the 3 Cape provinces. Now this is actually 2 different calculations in one. In other words, we first have to go and total the amount. What is the Eastern Cape's amount? What is the Northern Cape's amount? And what is the Western Cape's amount? And then we divide that amount with the total population. So remember I said 2 different calculations in one. It's a plus and a divide. So first we are going to plus. So it's equals sum, because we want to sum them together. Sum the Eastern Cape. Press Control on your keyboard. Then you click on Northern Cape. And then you click on Western Cape. And you close your bracket. That's one calculation. Then you do after the bracket. You use your divide and you click on the total population and you click on enter. And then you get your formula. It's important when you do more than one calculation in a particular formula, you have to separate the different symbols, the plus, minus, divide, whatever. You have to separate by using brackets. So I first did my plus or my add and I put that into brackets, and only once I've separated them, then I use the divide. So there's your amount. Remember, we have to go and format it into a percentage. So I can just click on the percentage sign, and if there's any decimals, I just take them away by using the decrease decimal option. Next question, 9.1.3. What percentage of the total area is occupied by Gauteng? What percentage of the total area is occupied by Gauteng? Alright, so this is no longer population size. Now they are talking about the area in square kilometers, and they want to know how much percent is being occupied by Gauteng. So here we have Gauteng, and that is the amount that is being occupied, and that is the total amount being occupied by all the other provinces. So again, it's basically the same calculation, it's just a different column we're using. So equals Gauteng's area size divided by the total area size. Press enter. Again, format into a percentage. Only 1% is being utilized by Gauteng. Next, 9.1.4. Which Excel function was used to calculate B11? Let's see. B11. So it's this one. B11. So how did they calculate this? What Excel function was used to calculate this? If I remove this, if I delete that answer, to get that answer back or to calculate that answer, all I had to do was use AutoSum. So Excel function, AutoSum. Click on AutoSum. It will do an automatic sum for me of everything that's above the cell, above B11. And then I just press enter and then I get an answer. So the answer there is AutoSum. Next, 9.1.5. Which Excel function can be used to determine the number of provinces? Number of provinces. Now remember, if you want to determine the number of something, you will have to go and count the actual number. If you, for example, if you're in a class and someone asks you to go and count the number of students, you physically have to go and count the students. Or if someone asks you how many students are in the class, you will physically have to go and count the students first. So it's the same thing here, but this is Excel and they are asking which Excel function can be used to determine the number of provinces. Well, as I said, count. So it's either going to be equals count, all right, or it could be equals count A. What is the difference between these two? All right, the difference is number of provinces. If I want to go and count the number of provinces, but the text of it, then I'm going to have to use count A. A for alphabet equals count A. Counter. The A stands for alphabet because I'm using letters of the alphabet to count. So it's equals count A, open bracket, or count, and then I use one of the options that's available, double click, and then the bracket gets inserted for me, and then I can just select the text that I want to count, close the bracket, and press enter. There's 9 provinces. We know South Africa has 9 provinces. But if you don't want to use the text option or the words, the actual provinces, you can just use equals count, the first option, and then you use the digits that you have next to it. That will also determine the amount of provinces. So the answer that we are looking for is count A or just normal count. Next. 9.1.6. If the population size is sorted in descending order according to the province, what province will end up in cell A7? If we sort the provinces in descending order, what province will end up in cell A7? So eventually, if we do a sorting in descending, what province is going to end up in A7? Currently, Mpumalanga is in A7. But what will happen if we sort it? Now, to sort something, you select what you want to sort, and you go to sort and filter. This is under the home tab. You click on sort and filter, and you select A to Z or Z to A. Now, what is the difference between them? The better option to use is custom sort, because custom sort is going to ask you, do you want to expand the selection or do you want to continue with the current selection? You want to continue with the current selection, and then you click on sort. Once you have done that, then it's going to ask you, what do you want to sort? You want to sort according to the province. All right, the province column. You want to sort the values, and what order do you want? Do you want it A to Z or Z to A? What is the difference between them? A to Z is ascending order. In other words, from small to large. Z to A is descending order from large to small. All right, so the question specified descending order. So we're going to use the second option from Z to A. And then we're going to click OK. It's going to do the sorting for us. And in cell A7, the answer now is KwaZulu-Natal. So then you type it in there. KwaZulu-Natal. All right, 9.1.7. You are required to create a OneNote file and attach this file, this particular Excel file. You need to go and attach to one of the OneNote sections. Explain in 5 steps how you would go about to perform this instruction. Now, I'm going to physically show you what you could do. All right, so first of all, I'm going to save this document and I'm going to call it question 9. Or name it question 9. So now I've saved it, and now I'm going to go to OneNote. How do I go to OneNote? I click on my search option and I type in OneNote. always choose OneNote 2016. Do not choose OneNote Windows 10. Click on OneNote 2016 so you can open OneNote. All right. Alternatively, if you're struggling, then you click on File and you click on New. All right. This PC, so that you can have the option to type in a OneNote name. So you can just call this question 9, and then you create your notebook. Now you have a blank notebook. You can give remember there's your sections. You can add sections to your notebook. And over here you have pages, and you can add pages to your notebook. If I quickly go back to my question and read it again, I have the following things that I need to do. You are required to create a OneNote file and attach this Excel file in one of the sections. Explain in 5 steps how you would go about doing that. So if I go back to my OneNote, remember they said one of the sections. So I'm just going to start in section 1. I can give it a name again, question 9.1. What was that? We are busy with question 9.1.7. All right, and then now I'm just going to click inside of my notebook, and I'm going to basically attach. Let's go back to our question. Explain in 5 steps how you would go about to perform this instruction. Create a OneNote file and attach this file, this Excel file, to one of the sections. So they specifically said attach the Excel file. So in this case, I click inside of my section, my first section on the page somewhere, and I'm going to use the Insert tab, and I have the following options. I can either insert a table, a file attachment, a spreadsheet. All right, and then of course I can also insert pictures and links and stuff. But in this case, they want us to attach the file. So we're going to use the file attachment option. So it's very important that you listen to what your question specified. So you click on file attachment, and then you go and look for the document that you have saved, and only you will know where you have saved the document. Remember, we saved this document as question 9, this Excel document. There it is, question 9. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click on Insert. It's going to ask me, do you want to attach a file, insert a spreadsheet, or insert a chart or table? In this case, let's see what happens. If I click on Attach File, that's what it's going to look like. If I click on, let me just go back and find the question again. Question 9, Insert. Do you want to insert a spreadsheet? It's going to load the spreadsheet for me. There it is. It's almost like it creates a little bit of it actually created the spreadsheet for me. So I can actually, I have it here as almost like a screenshot. And the other option that I have is I click below this. Let's do it again. Question 9, insert a chart or table. We know that it's not a chart or table that we want to insert. We never created one. So this option will definitely not work unless you actually have a chart or a table to insert. So the option that you can use is attach the file or insert the spreadsheet for this particular question. All right, so there you've done that option. I'm just going to close this. So I have now inserted my spreadsheet. Either you can insert it as an attachment, which will look like this, or as an actual spreadsheet. All right, so that's how you would do that. If I go back to my question. So you should physically, this question wants you to actually explain. Now, I showed you physically how to do it, but you, in this particular question, they wanted you to explain. So you would first save the document, the Excel document, then you open up OneNote. In OneNote, you use the Insert tab, and then you use File Attachment, and then you find your file, you choose your file that you want to attach. You insert it, and then you choose either to attach the file or to insert the spreadsheet. So that's what you should be writing in that question. We end off with question 9.8. State 5 benefits of online collaboration. Online collaboration. And here I have 5 points for you. When you use online collaboration, in other words, you are collaborating with other people working on the same document as you. You can either, it will help you to use less email. It will help you to increase your productivity. You can work basically anywhere. You could be at home. You could be, you and your teammates or group mates could be at different locations. You could all be at home working on the same assignment at the same time by using online collaboration in real time. And then, of course, it helps you to attract top talent. In other words, if you are able to function productively on a computer, and you understand how to use OneNote and Excel and how to use integration properly, you are becoming one of the top talent that we need in this country. All right, so that is how you would answer that question. You ended off by inserting a header with your exam number, which is your ID number, on the left and question 9 on the right, and then you print. You make a printout and place the printout in your exam folder. All right, how would you insert a header in Excel? You can click on File, Print, and then you click on Page Setup, and under Header and Footer, you choose Custom Header. On the left, you type in your ID number. On the right, you type in question 9. That's one way you could do that. Click on OK. And then you will see that your header is appearing. Or alternatively, what you could also do is you can go to Page Layout, and then you also have the option to go into Page Setup. You click on your group launcher, and there you will also find header and footer, and you just basically click on Custom Header and again type in the relevant information where it needs to go. And then you print the document. But before you print the document, always make sure it comes out on one page. Whatever you do in Excel, it must always come out on one page. All right, students, thank you so much for watching, and good luck with your exams.